Alright, welcome back to another session of Football Manager. So, I think this one might be a slow one. This is the end of a 11-hour workday, so bear with me. And in case you watch this later on, just forgive me, whatever it is will come up throughout the session. Hopefully I will not try to labor through all of the things and just do them in a different way again. So, let's talk about performances first. This is league games only, but league games didn't go well recently. And overall, I think we need to improve our performances in the league, despite the good performances in the cup. And we'd better start against Ammanford. Ha! Welcome back to the stream. This is the first subscriber I ever had. That's not the only thing I like about that person, but it's definitely top for me. Well, in any case, welcome back and thanks for supporting. So, if you have the time, feel free to stick around for an hour or two, or maybe all of, well, however long we do it today, right? So, I thought about the argument last time out about the defensive midfielder who plays as a ball-winning midfielder here, which in Football Manager implies that he closes down his man. And I think Explosive Birthday Cake had a point there about the team losing shape, and he framed this as being chaotic, but I don't think it's that much about being chaotic. I think he has a point that the team loses shape in defense, but in the kind of situation that we had last time out, I want the team to lose shape. I do not want Martin to remain there, hold shape, and Felstead to be responsible to deal with two men at the same time and get through to the ball. So I guess I can live with that. With the positive formation, I'm not so happy. And there's certain aspects to this that highlight this. First of all, I think it doesn't penetrate that much, the opposition. So the argument can be made that this doesn't really work. I wouldn't want to scrap the formation just yet, but neither am I very happy with the impact of the fullbacks here. This is basically a blank slate, and afterwards we instruct him to be on defend duty and do nothing but no-brainer stuff. So, there's improvements to be had here. This formation I'm more fond of right now, even though we lost with it last time out. And I also thought to myself, maybe we can play attacking football. So, maybe it's time for a third formation and a third tactic. Because there are a few things that we are good at, and one of these things is pace. Well, acceleration and pace. And the defenders in this formation aren't that fast, I think. So we might stand a chance there. Now, obviously this depends on the opposition lineup, so let's have a look. What do we expect? Apparently two rather fast defenders, which is the exception and not the rule. That said, in central defense, well, one of the two is rather good, rather fast. We'll have to see. They are second in the league, so we're definitely the underdog at this point. And we'll try to get a report here, in case we can make that happen. Did we talk to the players last time out after the match? I don't think so. But first of all, this is good news. Apparently he develops a little bit. Not sure if we can see this in the progression. Yeah, well, there's not much to see yet. But this looks decent. So to give him playing time is a plus. Not the worst loan agreement, I'd say. All four of them are fast. And well, the oppositions are. So we will, no, not all from 3 out of 4. This Gus Jenkins guy here. This is a 19-year-old that has really low pace. This should be 3 or 4. And the acceleration is, I don't know, somewhere around 7. This is not fast. Not for our level. This is not snail's pace just yet, but it's rather slow. So the argument can be made that we can probably penetrate there with a long ball. That said, I wouldn't want to rely on it exclusively. And I'm not sure about their tactics yet. Give me a second. If we look at Ammanford and their manager plays a route 1 style. So this is not their formation, but otherwise this fits. Yeah. Yes. But given that they play a route 1 style, they kick the ball long basically every single time. They just hit the long ball and we need to intercept that ball. If we can absorb these long balls, we have control of the game. However we want to do that. So now the argument can be made, either we need to be able to defend that whilst playing a high defensive line ourselves, but I have the slight... Probably these are fast. Apparently he isn't. He has a really great finish there. Well, he's injured anyway. How long is that? Let's see. This is currently... Well, it's just a pulled thigh though. He might come back. Then there's Gritty Wild. He's rather fast too, not a great finisher though. But he's a decent playmaker, 17-year-old. And then there's Cameron Barry. He has great pace. So, the argument here is that their entire team is rather fast. And I expect them to be able to absorb pretty well. And we can clearly see in the form here. This is their league position. They won 5 out of the last 4 games. I expect them to be really dangerous. In attack as well as in defense, rather solid. They will just play long balls and score from that. So I guess the result is this is not our level. This is way above our level, even though we play with them in one league. And yeah. So that might influence the outcome, whatever we decide. Sure, we can try to penetrate in midfield. No, not in midfield, in central defense. But let's not hang the expectation too high. We want to win if we can, but if it's basically a draw and we shut them down the entire game, we're pretty happy. Flynn Mary had a horrible game last time out. No tackles whatsoever. 3 interceptions. Let's see if we can criticize this. Yes, we can. Morale deserves a certain attention. Not only right now after the game, but also in entirety. I think performances overall have been bad enough that we can... But the left back right back zone isn't weak, is it? There's no weak. Well, you could argue this is the weakness of the team, yes, but the players here aren't weak specifically. They at least this guy is rather pacey, and he has decent tackling, so he will cover well in defense. This Perry guy. We don't know about the crossing yet, but he might even be dangerous in attack. And he's got the stamina to do this. Maybe not the work rate, so we might stand a chance there. But don't forget that our players are really bad too. So, yeah, hard to do. And with Jordan Pike, it is more or less the same. This tackling doesn't look that bad. This might be a 9 or a 10. And his stamina isn't great, but who cares? His acceleration and pace will do well for 60 minutes of the game, and afterwards they will just substitute him. So this is not strictly a weakness. We might try to outplay them with 2 players, you know, overlapping runs. So our own fullback might go forward. But again, this is not something we're good at. And also it risks another long ball and then we're done. So I'm not so sure how to go about things here. We know this guy. Yeah, apparently he's a decent passer and tackler. Looks like a defender to me, more or less. In midfield, but as a defender. Yeah, defender and defensive midfielder, sure. And then there's Gareth Gray. Do we know anything about him? Not that much. This passing for a midfielder isn't that great. I think Guthrie Wild's passing was the best I saw up until now. So this is 10 or 11 points maybe. We're not sure. Somewhere there. His passing is good. So we expect him to be able to do an assist. Or in other words, we need to shut him down. Because with these two... So with him the passing is okay, his vision is horrible though. He has moderate strength. I'd say we can probably close him down because his composure is really bad. He might be nervous. So we can trigger the press on him, close him down, and hopefully provoke some bad passes. And a similar argument can be made with him. His vision is bad. His passing isn't that great. His jumping reach is too good to be tight marked, I think. Even though his strength is bad. And we don't know about the dribbling yet, but hopefully we can close him down and basically provoke him to play bad passes. With the rest of them, I do not think we need to specifically do something about them. Obviously, these players here need to be marked. But whatever formation we play, we will probably restrict it to these. And forget about the last 4. Because their build-up play shouldn't be that great. Well, his passing is okay-ish. Yeah. So that's, I guess he has really bad passing. So we cannot man-mark the central defenders or close them down all the time, not with one striker. Of course we can try to basically overload the entire pitch and just nail them to the back of their goals, but this will just result in one odd long ball in the game and then we'll lose it due to the counter. So we need to suffer these long balls and defend it here. I guess, at least for now. That's what I think about it. Yeah. I also thought about hierarchies a lot. Or not hierarchy specifically, but team leadership and team leaders. That's just something that comes up with my job. I don't want to discuss my job in detail, but I thought about implications for Football Manager, and I think we should try to include the current hierarchy as good as we can. We don't have to overdo it, but Roberts and McDowell should probably be included. Problem is McDowell isn't a great player. Was he on the pitch? Yeah, he was on the pitch. So that's okay for now. But Flynn Murray, for example, he had a bad game. Now he can rest for a while, even though he's considered a star player. We'll just give Roberts another game. If he plays well or not, doesn't matter. Sure, in the end we want him to play well, but let's not overdo it with the young guys. They need time to come in, even if they are 21-year-olds that consider themselves to be star players. So I need to be reminded of this going forward. Now let's go through the performances. And really, I do not want to change too much. First of all, because I'm tired, and second of all, because I'm not so sure if after every small sample of one, you should change everything. I think we need to look through different games and assess later on. And seriously, if it gets us fired, so be it. This is a game in the end. So I'm okay with it to a degree. Last game hit decent heading by same chance, so I guess we can praise that. Alright. And his defending overall, I'm not so glad with. But on the other hand, his tackling was good too. He will probably not accept if I criticize him. Not right now. This guy develops a little bit, which is wonderful. 6.6 rating, his heading was okay-ish, his interceptions were okay-ish. That's not a great performance for a central defender, but it's not horrible either. I don't know what to say here. McDowell's. This is bad. So, assuming the performances hold any water, we can argue that last time out was not lost in central defense, but it was lost on the wings. Which makes some sense. I think our central defenders aren't that bad. They have their weaknesses, sure. But the fullbacks are where the problem is. And assuming that we can rely on them in more than one situation, with just this quality of fullbacks is not okay. We need to restrict their influence, basically. So, overlapping runs and so on are probably not a thing. Before we get other fullbacks. Or maybe we find a solution there. But I wouldn't want to overdo it. His defensive performance wasn't great. Okay. Apparently he can agree to this. Harry Martin. So we had this one scene last time out where he followed his man, and we debated this at the end of the game. As I think he might have just joined, so maybe he can hear us right now. Explosive Birthday Cake mentioned last time out that he considers this to be chaos, and I reflected on this a little bit. I think in a more structured shape, if you expect a defensive midfielder to hold shape and somebody else to pick up that guy, then this assumption makes a certain degree of sense. But it depends a little bit on what you want and what the team can get. We've been there the last time out, basically. So if we had a good anchorman, for example, it wouldn't make sense to employ somebody as an anchorman and to let him play like this and to hold the shape as a team. The problem is we have a decent ball-winning midfielder. We do not have a decent anchorman. He's also a decent defensive midfielder, which is just a box standard variation of this position, which says nothing more than, well, remain in defense. So we can just go here. Look at this. Shoot less often, dribble less, and hold position. Basically, yeah. Don't do much else. But the argument can be made now that this is better for him, or the argument can be made that we want to close down the man. Because we want to be aggressive in regaining possession. Which, at least for now, is what we're trying to do. So the argument here goes, ball-winning midfielder is probably fine, but you can also do it the other way around. And really, it's a preference of style, to me. If this doesn't go well and defensive midfielder would have gone well, then we picked the wrong style for this team. But I do not expect the performance to change much, depending on what Harry Martin, if Harry Martin is a defensive midfielder or a ball-winning midfielder. In the end, it's the same attributes, and his instructions are even very similar. Ball-winning midfielder is just an aggressive version of a defensive midfielder. Whatever, in the end, he needs to improve, and he's not that bad in his ball-winning midfielder role. In particular, he improves in this role, so I guess that's okay. That said, we'll have to wait and see if these attributes move on and get any better. Because, for example, focusing on his composure is just no good. So, defensive midfielder brings its own problems with it. I don't know if this is okay. So I'll keep it this way for now. His performance though wasn't that great, and I think we want him about it. At least I hope so. Ryan Gibson is on a 5.9 rating in training and on a whopping 6.3 rating in the last match. He had 1 tackle, which is fantastic, but that's about it. No chances created, no shooting on goal. So he needs to do that. He needs to shoot on goal and he needs to create chances. I will praise him anyway for that 1 tackle. And yeah, his official warning he will get. That's for sure. Don't know if it will have an effect though. Gary Byrne. So in Gary Byrne's position, I feel like he develops overall, but he might have had a dip recently. No. At this point he develops. There's a few red arrows here, but I don't care about them. This is in stuff that doesn't matter much. Great tackling, he had an assist. I will go with the tackling though. The amount of chances created isn't that great. Then there's Hugh Tumulty. For some reason his passing improved a little bit recently. Tackling 2 out of 2, which is fantastic. I like that, I really do. And he had 3 key passes. There's no reason not to play him another time, I think. Well, there are reasons, but recently it's not like he was really bad. So the argument can be made that this is okay. Cloyd. This is very situational. I think the goal chances, the chances to score created by Cloyd are in number really low, but in quality probably high. So in other words, the recall will be really bad, but the precision is great. He might go an entire game without a chance though. Who knows? That said, we decided to play him from time to time out on the left wing. How did he do last time out? 6.1. So he got a warning. His passing was wonderful. I guess we can praise that. Yeah, this is weird, because now we're gonna hate on him for his passing, because it didn't create any chances. And that's about it, because he's unhappy. Yeah, I forgot. Great. And then there's Toby Yates. How did he do last time out? I think he scored again. 26 out of 27 passes. The shooting isn't that great. I will not congratulate him on the goal. Well, there's nothing to congratulate on anyway. We might have done that. Yeah. Who else played? Massaro didn't. I think Wilds did. Let's see. 6.8 rating. No chances created, but great tackling. Oh. So we will praise the tackling because we can. For some reason that works every single time. Just because it's 100% true, I guess. And then we will criticize the fact that he didn't create any chances. Alright. Who's next? Jamie Roberts. Did he play? Nope. Gary Moody. I think Gary Moody played. And it wasn't great. 6.6 rating. He didn't create any chances. That's the easiest one here. It's a low-hanging fruit. I realized that he's a defensive midfielder by position. He might have played, I don't know where. So still, I think that's okay to warn him about that stuff in case this is the way Football Manager interprets this. This playmaker alternative I'm not too fond of. He didn't create any chances, he had 15 minutes. That said, he never made an entire game, so who knows. Andy Rooney came on, I think. 6.4 rating, great. Yeah, 1 out of 3 passes. This is, for 30 minutes of game time, this is no good. So let's criticize this. No. For some reason he can agree on this. With Andy Rooney this is always dangerous. I don't know why I went there in the first place. To talk to him is really not that fruitful most of the time. I think in case of a striker we cannot praise the tackling. We can warn him about the lack of chances created though. Well, we can tell him he needs to work harder and so on. That's it. Nobody else played. Also, I think I went through this already, but in case we employ somebody else, we want them to be future leaders. And what I mean by that is I want them to have good personality on top. Because we brought in too many players that might have acceptable skill, but we basically wrecked team cohesion with it. And if you employ people only by their skill and not by their personality, in the end the team might not work very well. A situation you might be familiar for some of you in real life. So there's that. We're looking to move on, yeah, that's true. Alright. There's 8 of these options. We'll go through these. J. Thomas. Is he interested? Apparently there's some dubious transfer interest by J. Thomas. Now, spoiler alert, I thought to myself maybe a 4-2-3-1 is a good idea for an attacking formation. He seems moderately suited for that, but I'd rather use a player that is a bit worse with a better personality. I don't like this personality much. This is box standard, middle of the road, and for non-new gens this might be even worse. So, not too fond of that. That said, he might be okay-ish in that role. As a poacher as well as a shadow striker. So, I guess I'm not that interested right now. Kyle Kepner. And we're talking about future transfers, obviously. So, because transfer window's closed. We might loan in some players, but he's not to loan. I get... Is this a domestic loan window or a domestic transfer window? Not so sure. It's been a while. Where is this? It's part of the league. Rules. Where's transfers there? Nope. Domestic loan transfers only. Okay. So we can loan players in, but that's about it. With Kyle Kepner, he's rather fast. That's all fine. But otherwise, there's nothing about him that's special to me, so let's get rid of him. Kai Clay. Yeah, he comes up every single time, sure. If we compare him to Coleman right now, he's definitely better. But Coleman is getting there. And we need to compare this once Kai Clay is available. Which he isn't right now. Well, he's considered a breakthrough prospect, but I think Coleman has a chance to get there. Hopefully his performance have to. Joshua Cummings. This is one of the more difficult ones to me. I think there is a reason why he comes up. That said, his positioning isn't that great. Physicals are okay-ish. defensive stuff is okay-ish, and then that's it. So, how much is he? How much better is he than what we have? Really? Is there anything? This is our defender. Yeah, I think we've been here. So, I don't think our defenders are great, but I'm not interested in him specifically. This one has wonderful attributes for a central defender, but otherwise there's not much to tell. I'm not that convinced. Charlie Roberts. That's a similar situation. Also, we have decent defenders out there at this point. Mike Thompson-Jones. Well, we don't know much about him, do we? He's available. Okay. So, given that he's available, let's offer him a trial and see. And then there's Adam Jones. There's a similar situation here. He has a really great jumping and a good finish, and that's about it. I'm not sure if we want him. So let's offer him a trial, given that he's free. There's a lot of acceptance for the official warning. And given the recent results, I think it's okay to have a team meeting at this point. Where is it? Let's try to move this in the other way with a team meeting and hopefully some encouragement. They need to do better. Yeah, that's true. So I warned him about sorting it out now. We need to improve, and we do not want to be in a relegation scrap throughout the remainder of the year. So that's why we go about things like this. Most of these had some positive influence and morale. Look at that. This is way better. So this is the cheat code for morale, for dressing room atmosphere anyway. That leaves us with a slightly better dressing room club atmosphere. Now, if only Cloyd with his issue would go away, but we cannot change that right now. And team cohesion improved a little bit. I think we focus on that every single game. Yeah, here. We do some that's wrong. We do some teamwork every single time. So that's okay. Alright. So team cohesion will hopefully improve. These two can come in for trial, sure. We will drop into the U19 though. Never mind. We will not. I will not forget about this guy. So, this is, to me, this is a special situation. We're talking a 19-year-old. He doesn't need to be registered. He's a perfectionist with very low susceptibility to injuries, with a very good finish. He's not that pacey. He's a really good jumper though. With that size, it's probably not 19. But good work rate, good flair. This is the one to tap it in. And as a perfectionist, I do not expect him to get any worse. This is one of the best personalities in the game. We don't know about the media handling now, just yet, but I want to keep this guy. This is fantastic. And I say this even before I know about the rest. Hopes are that he knows how to play attacking midfielder. In that case, I will use him as a shadow striker. If he doesn't, I might roll the dice, because this strength is really bad. He will not play striker for me, if I can help it. Not real striker. Shadow striker, on the other hand, he just might. And we will put him on pace training, basically. Off the ball movement looks good. Anticipation might be really horrible. We'll see. And then there's Mike Thompson-Jones. I don't know much about him just yet. He's unambitious. Great. Yeah, and I think we've got a good chance. I want this guy. As always, there's a problem that we might get him for some minutes and then 3 games later somebody else comes around and poaches him. That's a problem with these players. So alright, this month wasn't great. We still need a new slot to open up there. That won't happen anytime soon. Not with our chairman. But we'll try. We'll continue to try. So say we use this. Can we copy one here? How did it work? Something like this. Yeah, we can copy it here. We'll copy the positive tactic and go with an attacking tactic direct. I realize that they might not be suited for this, but I just want to have this on our hands. This is fine with me. This isn't though. So with an attacking tactic, given that they are not very capable to do much things, or to do most of these things, we might as well set them to fullback on defend duty. This is very structured for an attacking tactic. Yeah, it's all fine. Welcome back to the stream. And in case that's the way it is, that's the way it is, right? We will not have a 4-hour session today if I can help it. I'm really tired. So don't let anyone hear that. But after, I guess this doesn't count as work, does it? To me this is free time too. But I spent like 11 hours in front of a screen today. Or different screens in fact. So I will not do this for until 1 a.m. today. Hopefully we will get to a game though. So in this formation, there's no roles included that are other than what we expect them to play. And we can go with long bolts towards Yates. And in case we find a really good shadow striker, which might just happen, or we might retrain one of our strikers, I don't know, Cloyd for example. Yeah, he's no good at it though, but it doesn't matter. We can use this tactic if we want to. Forget about a shorter passing. Tempo will be a bit higher. No working the ball into the box. Pass into space doesn't necessarily need to be here. I will not slap run at defense on just because they're really bad at it. We will not roll it out. I don't know. Probably distribute towards the target man. Even though, yeah. No, or playmaker probably. So it depends a bit on what we face. And we will counter, and we will counter press because this is an attacking formation. And this is fine, more or less. So it's a bit different in build-up play. This is... and I want to go with attacking. To me, this is in case we are one goal behind and controlling the possession and creating chances doesn't work. Basically, this is the crowbar, if you want to put it that way. That said, just because we try to get a formation done that acts like a crowbar doesn't mean that we can do it. So careful about that. It might not go well. And I will not go into detail about this tactic right now. Not if we're not sure if we need it. Alright. This is about Taffs Well performances. Yeah, we didn't have great momentum. True. Passing was okay-ish. Yeah, defending is horrible. I guess that's true. And the expected goals performance wasn't great either. That said, in the first half it was more or less fine, with the exception of that goal. Andy Rooney's loyalty diminished a little bit, where... Oh, he's a realist now. That makes it a bit better. He was temperamental before, right? That's new. So... what's he? Outspoken, volatile and confrontational. Outspoken, volatile and confrontational with a determination of 11. Yeah, that's still horrible. So, ambition, loyalty, pressure and professionalism all up between 1 and 20. Really low sportsmanship, really low temperament and really high controversy. This is 4 of the attributes maybe all over the place. And 3 of them are definitely bad. So he's no good personality wise. It's just the way it is. The realist, yeah. That's not a good thing in this situation. Nadir has lower professionalism now and low determination. And his sense of loyalty has diminished. Who's he with? Okay. Well, I guess that's the influence of Mr. Cake Grenade. Hopefully Mr. Cake Grenade is a better personality than the others. But there haven't been problems with him so far. His media handling is media friendly, that's not great, but it's better than whatever Rooney had. And, well, trainer is not much better, right? So... yeah. Yeah, and we can live with the traits. These two might improve personality-wise though, we'll see. There's not that much improvement to be had so far. Alright, 45 minutes into this game. I think my girlfriend came home recently. I just want to go out, say hello, maybe grab something to eat, and then, you know, I'll be back in a minute or two. It won't take too long. And we will look if we can get a tactic and maybe some morale improvements going for the next match. Maybe can scrape a point or 3. We'll see. Well, took a bit longer, but I really found food. So, in case you hear me like eating on stream, this is what happens after a long work day. By the way, how was your day? In case your internet isn't acting up. And we didn't hear each other yesterday either. There was no stream, so feel free to tell me about it. Oh, food. Board is happy so far. That's sad. C+ isn't that great. They are pleased with the performance in the transfer market, but not excited. Funny. Supporters are slightly disappointed. Why is that? Yeah, they want to remain within the league. That's it. Everything else doesn't matter. There's no rivals played, so none of them matters right now. So our U19 got thrown out of the cup. That's no good, but what can we do? Somebody will probably comment on YouTube. You streamed like 4 hours and did one game. This gets him down to the level where he'd be. Seriously. This is absolutely horrible training wise. In training, we do go with possession training for some reason. Oh yeah, probably due to the build-up in tactical familiarity. Yeah, we need that. We need a better passing style, and I think tempo is fine though. Is there... No, there's nothing we can do that focuses on passing, I think. Maybe under technical. Doesn't seem like it. So let's keep it like this. And then the U19 will play, you know, do overall training, as always. I'm not so sure what to change here. Well, he can go to the U19, really. This guy. He's not a consistent performer and he doesn't have great intelligence. I still think he's a viable addition. Really depends on the rest of his attribute sample. These are two really hard games. First we play a really hard opponent in the league, and then afterwards we will need to play a cup game against somebody that's a team that's definitely superior. Okay. They are no good grossers overall. Great. This basically looks exactly what I thought he would look. He still has a pulled thigh. And with these, I think, yeah, the passing is okay-ish, but not great. The passing is borderline tolerable. But the defenders have tolerable passing too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And they play a Route 1 style. So we have a problem. Well, okay, his passing is shit. Look at that. So many ones. But he's pacey. He's just a runner. This is one of the most primitive styles in football. Hoof the ball long, afterwards run for it. The problem is, it might work just fine. Especially on this level. If they are good at it, why not? Yeah. That's why we'll play a defensive style though. So if they are very hard to beat and well in front of us in the league, cool. That's just what we do. .75 is really great. He doesn't have great morale. It might be that the affair with Cloyd pulls down the morale of everyone else, or his morale might be accepted by the. It might be accepted. It might be influenced by the morale in the parent club, which is, you know, the Hogdals. And given the circumstances with them. Yeah, they are dead last and relegated at this point. So that's it. With a whopping 13 points. I want to see this though. They won against Sunswell. We wouldn't have done much better. Or we might have, but the change in management definitely wasn't a plus. I'm gonna go on record here and say that we would have managed to... Where did we go? I think we went out against after the match against Trollhättan. Here. The new manager managed to get... He had 15 games. And he managed to get 7 points. I think we were still on a 1 point something rating. Points per game. Or maybe not. But it was close. Like, whatever. He didn't do better than we did. So, it was a matter of circumstances, really. Or, we were as bad as he was. And they go down undeserved. Deservedly, whatever. Adam Jones, though, looks like he has good off-the-ball movement. Sadly, doesn't seem like he has a secondary position. So, again, we come over with the question: do we want to retrain a player to be a shadow striker? Because we might just be able to pull that off. To be fair, we do not have a replacement for the person in midfield that plays as a Metzala. And apparently we know of one club that just went down and maybe wants to loan some of these players. So I guess we can go back one more time and see if Nathan Lowe all of a sudden feels inclined to come over. Was it Lowe with E? Yeah, he played in central defense recently. Are you serious? Oh, we don't know. He's considering his options now. That's great. I would want to be an option for us. Oh, we can just sign him. Sure. Yeah, we need to transfer him in. Absolutely no interest under any circumstances. This feels familiar, vaguely. And I want to see Dylan Morgan. Same here. Stocksund? Oh, they loaned him. Yeah, well, he won't be available until, I think, in 1.5 months. So, not a chance. I'm gonna risk it. Seriously? Okay. Apparently the 18-year-old wants to be star player. That said, with his personality, that's not a great risk to me. he might still be, you know, a volatile variation of a perfectionist, but I can live with that. That's an addition to the squad that I want. Also, we don't know about the traits. It might be horrible. Gosh, really look horrible. Hopefully we will not end up down there. Yeah, I think it was, to a degree, it was deserved, the way we went down. To a degree, we were really unlucky, especially with the first goal. He didn't train well? He didn't train well. So the challenge with the more direct approach is that we want to challenge them with a more direct approach ourselves. They're good, we're better is really one of the great statements of this game. They are dangerous though, aren't they? I always feel like we should maybe just play Elena, given the training rating. Then I look at Toby Yates' performances, and I think to myself, well, okay, his training performance was shit. I guess he still deserves to play. This is 5 games, 5 goals. So it's not about the goal scoring, that's for sure. Sure, you can expect more, but yeah, I stand by that. It's not about the goal scoring. The goal scoring is okay. This might also have to do with tactical familiarity, more or less. How's his training? 6.35 is not good enough. Even Cloyd is on a 7.0. We could use somebody else in central midfield as a Metsala. Michael Kelly probably not though. That's really not a reasonable choice as a Metsala, is it? No. It's quite the opposite of a reasonable choice. So my question here is that we gave Ryan Gibson so many games now, and look at this training rating. It's horrible. He has all the match experience in the world, he doesn't spend it. Ambition or no ambition, he needs to do better. So we'll kick him out of the team for now, and he can try to fight for a comeback. Maybe pull Kellen. Where's Gibson here? Well, I'm not so sure about Kelly either. I'm not a big fan of this so far, of this approach. So now my problem overall is that we need somebody to play there. I guess Shay Kirk could do, but no. He's just no finisher, he doesn't have the physicals. Who's in the U19? Or Adam Jones needs to sign his contract. But he will probably not do that prior to the game. If he does, he plays. I'm gonna say this now. And we will just play him way out of position. He'll just get match experience. If he trains well, that is. But with a perfectionist, I expect him to train well. Most likely nobody will expect us to win this. Neither the fans nor the board. I think we have similar or better. Personality-wise in particular. In a few days' time. Okay, he will not be available. Do we have the media handling? Not yet. I would love to know about the trades too. Now the physics aren't that great, but it's not so far off that it's entirely unbearable. Pace 5 isn't great, but the finish is really good. So I guess this is a moderate Cloyd case. Off the ball movement 10 is fantastic, work rate is good, technique is good, stamina is okay. I think he's got what it takes for a shadow striker, at least as a the basis for it exists. And he also has some experience with the position. So we'll try to train him into that. And then maybe just play a 4-2-3-1 with a direct style. At least that's something very different than what we did previously. So given the problems with the lineup, I guess we can go back to what we had. We'll just give them another chance. But Rooney doesn't deserve to be on the bench, sorry. I'd rather give Trainer the bench spot. And I'm not a big fan of Trainer either. 6.8. 6.45. 6.7. 6.65. So I guess the 6.8 it is, even though he doesn't contribute much. So maybe we play Brotherton in midfield at some point. I don't know. He's no good at it, but whatever. At least he can play a pass. Well, keep it like this. Don't overdo opposition instructions. I feel like that's something that we do anyway. Overdoing it, that is. So they have a weak foot. And I would love to tackle him hard, but it's just not viable. Due to, you know, the good dribbling. Similar here. With him, yeah, similar. Similar. How about these two? Bravery and composure are really bad, and the dribbling isn't great either. I think this is one of these cases where we can't tackle hard. He's really slow too. So Gray. He would be faced with Gibson, who's not great with jumping. So he would outjump him most of the times. I guess tight marking is not a good idea, but we can trigger the press on him. And no hard tackling, cause, well, his direct opposition isn't that great of a tackler. And same with him. Just close him down and hope for the best. With them we will not do much. I'll try to go with a minimum. We need another squad number for trainer apparently. He can have number 17. Seriously, Tumulty. Why? You're one of the better players in the team. I guess that says something, right? Okay. Not that great. This is an away game, so I'll try to ease the pressure. That might go wrong though. I guess it worked with Gibson, at least. Let's see what it does. That's a really narrow pitch. That's the first thing that comes to mind. And the more direct passing was plainly visible there. Not a bad idea. Jones again. I'll encourage the team and hope for the best. Apparently we forgot to pull Flynn Murray off the pitch, so I guess he makes another appearance. 12 minutes into the game, no chances so far. I can live with that. Tumulty runs wide with the ball. Flynn Murray, cross from deep. Jenkins picks up the ball. Pike. Cross from deep. That shouldn't be a problem, but it is. It is not. It's offside. Okay. So let's encourage the team. 12 minutes into the game I can say this is fine. Remember, a point is a win basically. Jenkins with a ball from deep, intercepted by Martin, not a problem. Martin again, well, this will be offside. And it is. But the pitch suits us to a degree. Oh, Cole. Yeah, it suits us until there's a penalty against us. So this will decide the game. Or it just might. Jenkins. Well, that's how you lose these games. I'm not even that annoyed by this. It's just so unlucky. Cloyd is not fast enough. Yates jumps for the ball, doesn't win the duel. Yates isn't a great jumper. Tumulty, Flynn Murray, Martin, lob from deep, is it offside? It is. Or something later on was offside apparently. But overall it looks like we defend this really well. So I guess we can go with the gamble now. The problem is we are one goal behind. Is it offside again? It isn't. Oh, come on, Gibson, seriously. So, the chances were there. Even with the penalty. Gibson doesn't win this one. Yates controls the ball. Tumulty. Nice pass towards Gibson. And Gibson over. We have chances. If not for the penalty, this would be fine. Reese. That's okay. Defensive performance wise, it's totally fine. Byrne. Feldstedt. McDowell. Feldstedt with a ball from deep. Yates loses the duel. Not a problem for Byrne. Cloyd. Cloyd with a nice pass towards Gibson. Gibson offside. There's chances created there for some reason. I don't know if I want to do too much, really. This Thomas guy is really tired. So, say we push forward the right back. That doesn't suit our formation though. Tumulty is... How's the instruction here? I think he's on support duty. So, pushing forward Flynn Murray wouldn't help much. We can though... We could try to play down the right anyway. Let me get back to this for a second. No. Pike is still match fit. So this is more about a defensive performance here. Or this Neil Thomas is a good finisher. He's got decent bravery and composure and so on. He isn't that fast. So the argument here goes we can mark him tightly. I think that's something that we can do and we should do. We'll do this. And then we'll mark Thomas tightly. Because even though he has good off the ball movement and he has decent acceleration, decision making isn't that great. He doesn't have the strength. Jumping reach is okay. But I expect us to be able to stick to him. Because he's exhausted. So maybe that takes him out of the game. Sure. 36 minutes into the game, that's not a great prospect to take one opposition player out of the game. I still think that's better than nothing. Nice ball towards Gibson. Against two. Oh, smacks the... Come on, Cloyd. Seriously? He smacked the goal post. So, the chances were there. At this point. We gotta agree to that. they weren't great. And every single shot was off target, but I think we deserve to be at least on level. It's really horrible not to have scored that one. And I thought this would go down, well, much worse. Okay, that's one for Coleman. I'm just gonna say it as it is. We were really unlucky. Because I really think they can do better. Well, the result can be better. The performance was fine. Now, obviously there's some players that can improve. So we'll tell them. But for the rest of them, we'll go with encouragement. Most of them are relaxed and motivated. Hopefully that makes a difference. Again, due to a penalty. This is so annoying. Five additional minutes. Let's see this scene. Burn. Feldstedt. The ball from deep. Haynes will pick that one up. Yeah. If, well, with a bit faster personnel on the pitch, that just might have been an idea. Thomas towards Guthrie Wild. Coleman's got it. And finds a long ball immediately. Not Yates though. Barry. Flynn Murray. Alright, at least this time he hit the ball with his tackle. So that's a plus. We gave away corner. Guthrie Wild. Worth the corner. Martin, well defended. Will Flynn Murray pick up the ball? Nope. But he tried. Welcome back. Offside. I guess we make Gus Jenkins look... No, that's the one that converted penalty. Forget about what I was starting to say. This is not about his defensive performance. That might not even be that great. Yeah, I'm gonna do something controversial now. I'm gonna get Toby Yates off. I think Elina deserves a chance and he deserves to be more on the pitch, longer on the pitch than 10 minutes. And in this situation, I think he's the man to go for. So, let's put him on the pitch. Well, apparently you can have two problems at once, right? Yeah. It doesn't sound like it. So, best wishes from my side, because that's all I can do from here. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, seriously? What the actual fuck? What can you do tactically to avoid these goals? Flynn Murray. McDowell loses the header and Coleman is half asleep. Sure, we can proceed with this. Not that it matters anymore. But again, it feels like we were moderately well in control of the game. I realize that this sounds not that great, but we're 2 goals down. Come on, give him a yellow at least. It's not. He's tall enough, he just failed mentally. Well, okay, he's 1.82 m. But I don't think it's about his size in this situation. His anticipation is so far off, same as the positioning. There's other arguments here. A dream? Oh. In dreams, stuff happens. Sometimes it might even be reasonable. What kind of dream did you have? Perry. Barry. Guthrie Wild. McDowell with a decent tackle. Yeah, and then you woke up and it was all gone. So the question now is, was it about the tactics or was it about the fact that you figured it out? Both make sense to a degree, right? I guess to be a positive for you. Alright. We'll go with the attacking tactic. Why not? Yes. That's not wrong. Sure. That's entirely true. Yeah, and this is because the players aren't that great in attacking assignments. So we'll do it anyway, but you might argue that way. I think I brought the wrong personnel to the club. Well, yeah, but I agree with this, at least to a degree. Apparently Gary Moody becomes a central defender these days. Feldstedt gave away a penalty and that's it. Oh, we didn't bring on a second player, so... Guthrie Wild. Marriott. Reese. McDowell. Okay, it was offside. Yeah, now Jones is exhausted. We've got a few minutes to go. I'll do this. So I'll bring Brotherton on attack duty as an inverted winger. Yeah, but this is more Hail Mary than anything else. Because I thought to myself, we've got 2 decent passers in defensive midfield. We've got 1.5 decent target forwards. We do not have great goal scorers. Well, we might have. We have the pace. We do not have the mentals. Doesn't matter though, some of these players in the league are so slow that we might stand a chance with an attacking tactic. So this is what we do now. This is not down to the fact that we are great at it. So, yeah.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the stream. So do we want to put Roberts on? I guess Flynn Murray has a bad game, so he might as well come on. And I'm going with defend duty, because these players don't know anything else. This is, so it might not even suit the tactic that much. No, I didn't. But he doesn't train well, and I don't like that. On the other hand, he might make an appearance in the next game. I wouldn't want to fire him. He's a good mentor for the rest of the squad. Well, to be fair, the two players that changed their attributes recently declined in their hidden attributes due to being mentored to Mr. Cake Grenade. So he might not be that well of a personality, or that great of a personality after all, but he's still around. I will not fire him immediately. There's enough fluctuation in the squad. So this game's lost, more or less. But we'll still try. Oh. Yeah, I get it. But he will keep that name, right? I will not remove the nickname from him. I guess you paid for that with your channel points. Also with a lot of loyalty to the stream. Jones. Nice tackle. And now we get an offside situation. Moody with another long ball. Reese. Perry. Well, use him. Just don't make me drink the entire bottle here, please. Coleman. This is a game of low quality chances, with the exception of the penalty. Why don't you close them down? Close them down more. This is an attacking formation. Go forward. Burn with a free kick. Moody. Nothing. There's so many yellow shirts. I guess he tried to tackle. Now there's a tackle. Finally. Burn towards Trainer. No offside. Trainer. That's an excuse of a pass. Burn. McDowell. Cross from deep. Again. Martin. Well, that might be offside though. Yes. I like the way this looks as a playing style, but for a result it will not change much. Roberts and losing the ball. We didn't create a single chance in the attacking formation or in the attacking duty, by the way. Not yet. Yeah, but there's commitment forward. You can't argue with that. Orbell. Pike. You mean like chaotic? Yeah, maybe. I thought about this, about the argument with the defensive midfielder, and I thought to myself in the 4-2-3-1, a ball-winning midfielder as well as a deep-lying playmaker makes some sense, right? So this is how I came up with this. Also, I really love shadow strikers, and we don't have one yet, but you might have seen in between your stuttering internet and the stuff with the light bulb, that I found a perfectionist, an 18-year-old, that is borderline capable to play Shadow Striker, maybe. He's not great at it, but he can play in attacking midfield. There's chances. Too late, too little too late, but there were chances. Gibson wins the duel. Gibson, cross, nothing. I still don't have an image in my head for an exploding birthday cake. I guess an exploding birthday cake might be something with, you know, a surprise in there. You know, there's these birthday cakes with people in them, something like this. With the exception of the penalty, this would have been totally fine as a performance. We restricted the opposition quite nicely, by the way, overall. As I said, with the exception of the penalty. That's just random stuff that happens. You've got a good image for that in your head, apparently. Okay, now they lost focus. Fantastic, I'm too soft on them. Cup games next. Well, if we are still in management, that is. Nice training, man. Yeah, sure. We can do that. Next game is against Seven Sisters. Didn't we play them in the cup? We played them in the cup and won on penalties. So... And I think the fans are wrong, by the way, it's not about the formation. Even though I realized that you might prefer 4-2-3-1. Yeah. In fact, they questioned the formation. But as I said, they will probably change their opinion, whatever it is, depending on the results. And I'm gonna show you in a second. The team isn't even familiar with it. Yeah, they are probably doubtful about everything. To be fair, they've got all the reason to be. I don't know. Maybe this will be a 1-year episode with this club, and afterwards we get fired again. But that's part of the experience. That's okay. Well, time in Football Manager, or in management in particular, it's a rare commodity. Six games without a win. I think this is a real problem. We did that to ourselves. So, for the next club, I wanted to be a good disciplinarian in this club, and get some increase the pressure and so on. I don't know. Somebody might have convinced me that this was a good idea. But it backfired in this situation. In case of Wayne Cloyd, I think it backfired because he just had a controversial day, I guess. No. I misclicked. Go away. Yes. And a lack of tactical familiarity. And this is a semi-pro club. And we changed tactics too much. And we didn't have a great preseason. We should have stuck with one particular formation for the entire time. And one particular playing style too. Because we're trying to do too many things at the same time. And this is really a problem. So we brought the dynamics down. As well as tactical familiarity. And this is really bad. We could have done without one or without the other, but not without both. And now we need to regain both, and well, the way to do this is teamwork training, which we do every single week. So, but this might take until the end of the season. We're no good at it. Next game is against Newtown though. Pfft. We're not expected to get a result there, are we? Look at him, his morale dropped so much. Well. Oh. When would he come in? He would come in at the start of the transfer window, would he? He's, by the way, he's outspoken, volatile, and confrontational too. Being a perfectionist, that is. So, but he likes to round the keeper, I guess that's fine. And he argues with officials, that's not so fine. That's a way to put it. Or it's a way to increase the pressure on us. Yeah, they're not happy with this. This will get us a D pretty soon. Then the fans are very unhappy. Playing Cloyd there might be overdoing it, but I'm not gonna change it anytime soon now. We need to stick to some stuff at some point. That's the first game in 6, by the way, that Toby Yates didn't score. So... is defending, training and match tactics fine? I don't know. I still think that this was due to a dialogue problem. So that dialogue brought up the same option 2 times. You might remember. And I just clicked it a second time because I thought a click didn't get registered. So seriously, I think he wanted to, I don't know, he wanted a promise or something. I could have done that and went with a separate dialogue option. But given that I told him the same again, apparently that was enough for him to kick me out. And I had a look at Yedahawkdal's IK previously. They are down now. They are back in League 3. Yeah, there was a chance for a promise, but I was unwilling to offer one. Well, at the first time, that is. But he didn't say, like, I want you to promise something. It was still the first dialogue option. So I was confused. And I think this is one of these games that doesn't... this is one of these options that doesn't get tested very well. Because it's so rare to occur. So... yeah, and I repeated the answer because he repeated the question. There was no sign that this was a repetition of the question. I thought it was buggy. So... whatever. Not great UI design, I guess. But he wasn't. He was like, oh, that, yeah. True. Well, it's not like it's all down the river at this point. Doesn't matter. I will not go back to Utah Hawk Dots like hey though. But this might end up a really short time with a club if it goes on like this. We'll see. I guess I can get a title for worst football manager streamer on Twitch. On the other hand, that's probably taken. There must be somebody worse than me. There's so many people. So in the end it will be boring, middle of the road. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's really bad. Yeah. Well, we have to talk to the players anyway. And we have to find out how we can improve morale a little bit. With a win, obviously, but this goalkeeping will not do, sir. It just won't do. Well, some. But we had the time to develop there. And maybe we were lucky not getting relegated from time to time. Okay, we criticized the passing. His conduct is fine, so we'll go with that. Okay, that's better. Is there something else about him? His form is barely tolerable, but we will warn him about his recent form. Same here, we will tell him that he's not good enough for the first team. He conceded 10 goals in the last 5 games. That's not good. So, now at least his morale, well, it's not displayed here, but his morale should go up. There was a... What's left with dialogue options? Criticizing the conduct, definitely not. And I'll go through the entire squad and just do this. We need to look at everyone individually. And maybe also look at the training. Training is okay, but we did comment on that recently. Elina's next. So, 6.4 rating isn't great. He had 1 good tackle, that's fantastic, but for a striker I cannot praise the tackling, I think. He didn't play in midfield, so not a chance. His heading was horrible. Alright. He didn't lead the line effectively, so that's okay. There's nothing to praise him for. 80% passing isn't good enough to praise him for it. He did have great training. We didn't praise him for that. I don't know why. So I guess we can do that now. And his form 6.64 isn't good. This is, well, the 7.4 rating this one time here gets accompanied by 4 really bad ratings. So we will tell him that his form is not good enough for the first team, and we'll be friendly about it. Alright, that's moderately positive at this point. How's his no. Conduct, not composure. The words elude me. Conduct looks decent, so we will tell him. And I think he's emergency backup, but influential. So he has some influence on the rest of the squad, and we will tell him. Some of these dialogues obviously are more important than the others. This is okay. We will tell him that his training is okay. Now he's annoyed. Well, Is he one of these controversial ones? Seriously, we have... This is part of Taffs Well for me. We have too many players with some sort of controversial personality that just want to... I don't know what. I have no idea why he's so annoyed. We praised him for the training. Yeah, media friendly says he calls the... I don't know, what is it in Austria? The local newspaper with all the trash in it. You probably know Bild in Germany. Is there an Austrian equivalent? Probably. Media friendly is not a positive feeling. So, I guess, I don't know, I never heard of that. That doesn't result in any Google hits. Yeah, I realize what Heul means in Germany, but or in Austria, that is. I was able to translate that. No, I thought about local newspapers that are basically like the Sun in England, you know, newspapers that just publish all the trash with and all the cringy pictures. He had great heading. I'll still try to talk to them. To continue to impress. Yeah, despite that, your defensive performance was shit. So, training-wise, we can't tell him much. His form is bad, so we might as well go there. I'll still try this. Apparently, the bad treatment for praising him and his training rating is accompanied with good trading. Yeah. Well, whatever. But I wasn't specifically referencing sport news, that is, right? So Flynn Murray is brand new in the club. I guess I want him to be better, sure. He'll just get his official warning and that's it. No chances created. Tackling was good though, so I guess we praise the tackling. And we tell him that overall he wasn't good enough, and this is due to the lack of chances created. I guess some of these players have decent morale from time to time. Ryan Gibson. So Gibson's case is a weird one. I think he created some chances in the last game. Oh. Yeah, well, not all the time though. I wouldn't want to be sure about that. All that pressure by the press doesn't serve good development. It's absurdly horrible in some locations in Germany. I really despise that. And also, once you have a look at the local press and the style of journalism they do in sports, that's barely tolerable for, you know, from a linguistic point of view in some cases. And I'm not talking about Bild at this point. I'm talking about local newspapers that should have some time to talk to, you know, whatever the local club is. But some of these are just, they are a bit more eloquently put, but no idea about tactics, just bullshit and basically echoing whatever somebody might say in in a local pub. So in the end, it's all about sales. It's not even about reasonable journalism, not in sports anyway. So I feel like the press doesn't serve much purpose. It's probably best to ignore them, really. And that's annoying, but if you like a club, ignore the press. Because most of the press will be bullshit. At least to me. That's my experience. There might be exceptions. I realized that I just trashed the profession of an entire scene, I guess. But sports journalism should really have better standards. With the questions as well as with the articles, that is. You just have to listen to the odd press conference and wonder, I don't know, ask yourself, they are not, seriously, they are not. They are aggressive with the material they publish. They are backstabbing. That's what they are, in general. They sit in a press conference and are friendly all day, and afterwards they write the most horrible article about the club, or about the manager, and then the manager gets fired. That's not aggressive journalism, that's bullshit. At least to me. Seriously, I would love to have it the other way around. Ask aggressive questions. Be uncomfortable for the manager in the press conference. Ask stuff that's really annoying to answer. And ask a second time and a third. And more importantly, ask why. Because they hate to answer these kind of questions. And then you actually have material for your article. Then you can write about it, and then you can argue about it, and have some controversy, but on a certain factual level, but not about, I don't know, this didn't go well, he lost the last 5 games and now he should get fired. Well, what a great attitude. Yeah. I don't know. We would need to go into specific details here. I think this is too. Maybe I'm answering this too broadly. I remember, for example, back when Jurgen Klopp was in Dortmund, there was one journalist that always came up with odd questions about absolutely useless statistics. I don't remember the name anymore. And he did that every single time, basically. And it always made Jurgen Klopp laugh. So for the atmosphere in the press conference, that was fine. I don't think it served much purpose for an article. Right? So why do you do that? Because you're paid to do it. It doesn't help you write an article anyway. There's just no reason to do this. I think so, yes. I think he dug these up. Like, this is I'm not sure what the purpose is. So it was like the last 12 games that Robert Lewandowski played against a club that is not within Germany. XYZ happened on the conceding side. Would you say that this is related to the location of the new stadium, and what do you expect going forward? Whatever. It was really weird, like oddly specific stuff that obviously has no purpose. Sample of one. Yeah, but like Jurgen Klopp always laughed about these. Because it was so absurd. He could have answered next question every single time. And I don't want to blame this guy. But I guess he was fishing for a topic, yeah, maybe. Okay, so his recent form is bad, right? Yeah. He's 17 years old, we will still tell him. 0 goals, 1 assist. That's better. Now, 6.5, his tackling was good, he's a midfielder, we praised him for that. He created 1 chance last time out, he didn't score. His heading wasn't great. No, I don't think so. I think we had an aggression problem prior to that. We took off the hard tackling, the get stuck in instruction. We took that off because we gave away too many fouls and gave away too many free kicks. And to be fair, last time out we didn't give away that many free kicks. I need to look this up now. But thanks for interrupting me. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this happens, sure. And the answer is no. I want us to be blah 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 blah. So 1 minute later, the press conference, there's a lot of talk and nothing in there. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why Pellegrino Matarazzo in Stuttgart was really refreshing, because he answered on a factual level. And he basically blocked off rhetorically most of the bullshit questions, and if they asked specific questions, he went on and explained it. So I really appreciated him being in Stuttgart, and I think now he's in Hoffenheim. To have somebody that is competent on a I guess operational level, that's not the right word. With the facts. With what's needed on a tactical level and how stuff works and also how psychology works or might work. Executional isn't bad as a word. Sure, thank you. In German I'm thinking fachlich. So with respect to the requirements that are needed for this job. Yeah, but I'm not sure if factual is similar. Whatever. You got the picture. Yeah, but technical means something very different, especially as a computer scientist. So I guess I wouldn't want to go there. So, what do we want to tell him? Criticize training development? Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Next. We will not praise him for his conduct. We will not criticize it either. That's it. Adam Jones is not with the club yet, but I expect us not to talk to him that much. Because outspoken, volatile, and confrontational is not great to talk to. That said, he's a perfectionist, so maybe we can get him somewhere. I'd rather, we'll probably get this trade removed and just hope for the best with him, personality-wise. Maybe someone else will need to go to make some space for him. No reason to talk to him. Sam Jones. How's his performance? 6.3. It's just no good. That said, I don't think he... I'm not even sure. The major errors were probably the bad passing. And that's part of the concept. If one of those long balls finds some space, and a striker would totally fine with this. So... he wasn't great defensively. And in the end, 6.68 isn't great for the first team either, so criticizing his form is fine at this point. Yeah. Conduct. I will go as far as to tell him that this is fine, conduct-wise. Or maybe let's just praise the development, the training. Because he trains well. That's close to perfect. Can we praise the conduct too? Is he an influential player at this point? He is influential, yes. So he's a positive influence. Sure. We have some problems getting the players up to decent morale. But there's areas where they improve in morale. Kelly. This training will not do, but it's not bad enough that I can tell him about it. 6.76 isn't good enough for the first team, so I guess we can go there. Barely. So, given that he didn't play much, he cannot have a bad conduct, right? There's no yellow cards here. He's not an influential player in the club. So we'll pat him on the shoulder. Oh, slightly positive reaction. Apparently that's cool. So I guess it's about the club. That's it. That worked well. Kirk. I'm so close to just firing Kirk. I don't want him in the squad. I don't know what to do with him. He's not a good target man. He's not a good central defender. He's really slow. Like, as a central defender, his heading is off. In the middle of the... I don't know, I guess he could be ball-winning midfielder. That's why we train him for it. Not that it matters. There's not a place in the squad for him. I don't know what to do with him. I seriously have no idea what to do with him. He's too old to be under 19, but if we fire him, we have a problem, I think, with registering the squad. So I don't want to go there, because then he won't be... He's homegrown, I think. Is he? Well, I thought he was homegrown. In any case, squad registration will probably... Yeah. He's domestic. So, this training will not do. But we criticized him for it previously. His conduct is okay, I guess. Every little bit counts. That's all we do. Harry Martin. His conduct isn't that great, but it's part of the role. 6.9 rating last time out is totally fine. It's not his fault that we lost this game. So we'll praise him for the tackling, because it was 100%. His heading was 10 out of 10 too. I will not complain about this. Training 8.15, sure, that's good. And then we've got the form. 6.86, that's okay. As I said, I will not complain about this. Conduct we can't praise. We can't criticize it just yet either. If he went off with a red card last time out, different story. But like this, not. This is a clear case of a criticism. No form to speak of. Conduct is okay, he didn't complain yet. Anything else? Well, that's it. Alex McDowell. For a 30-something-year-old, this is wonderful training. So we go with that. 6.8 rating last time out isn't bad. Again, tackling's good. He didn't give away the penalty, the central defender did. We will criticize him for the lack of chances created, just like every single time. And he'll be happy with it. Conduct is fine. Is he an influential player? He's highly influential. So we will praise his conduct and tell him that he's a good influence on the rest of the squad. I guess that's good. Anyway. Perfect morale now. Gary Mooney. We should have done this a long while ago, should we? Even though it's probably really boring, but this is important in Football Manager, so I guess we go there. There's some weird sounds around here. Okay. So Gary Moody's training is acceptable, but not great. His determination just dropped. His form is not good. That went well. This rating... Pfft, I guess I can argue he didn't play well with the heading. Yes. Alright, conduct 2 for... There's still a yellow card, so not a chance to praise his conduct just yet. Is there anything else? Training development, I will not go there. In fact, let's see with the development. For a ball-winning midfielder, there's no development to speak of. I think we can go there. Yes, that's okay. You can accept this. Mr. Cake Grenade. At the age of 30, this is acceptable training, I guess. Didn't play recently, so I guess his conduct was good. Is there... He's an influential player. So we will praise him for the conduct on the players that he is close with. Alright. That's decent. Anything else? Not much. Jamie Roberts. Did we? No, there's no form. Jamie Roberts, 6.75 rating. That's a good for really okay for a player of his age. His performances haven't been great, so we warn him about his form. And you can start that next match, man. He came on and he was horrible. Can we criticize the passing in particular? Yeah. Great having this talk. Sure. Tackling was good, 1 out of 1. That's fantastic. And given that he is the team leader, I guess we will praise his conduct. Due to being a positive influence. Alright. Rooney. This is one of these cases where I probably best hold off, right? He's okay at this point. Training isn't great. Form isn't... Conduct isn't great. I will not criticize him for it though. He might not agree. Forget about Rooney. I will not touch Rooney. Luke Thomas. Yeah, by the way, this is the worst that can happen, right? If once you don't want to touch a player anymore, I don't know. There's not an impact you can have on his morale. Not a positive anyway. Luke Thomas is outspoken too. Dangerous one to talk to. He didn't play. Single game. I guess we can praise his conduct. Alright. That's something. Trainer. This is horrible. Alright. 6.8 rating last time out is not too bad. For a midfielder, his tackling was okay. Oh, slightly positive now. And I think he didn't create that many chances, so I guess we can tell him. Okay. 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 Yeah, and we criticize them because they're bad men. So we'll criticize your recent form too. Alright. That worked, at least for now. Volatile, media friendly, yeah, cool. Tumulty. Tumulty trains well. Overall. .5 rating isn't great. He didn't create that many chances, same as always. But the thing is, this is a safe way to get good morale out of the players, so I guess we do that. Conduct is okay-ish. His recent form is not great. It's not horrible, but we can always go with play better if you want to be in the first team. Whilst praising his training is a no-brainer. And he likes it. Didn't play last time out. His conduct is okay. So that's alright. 6.62 rating, no good form. Fine. Yates. 6.05 rating is not good enough for me in training. Definitely not. The 6.2 deserves a fine, but we'll go with an official warning. His heading was horrible. Tackling was good, he didn't create any chances there. Neither did he try to score. Well, 2 times, but that's not good enough. Okay. What else? 6.78. That's not great, but it's not horrible enough to warn him about it. I think the training we can go there. Alright. How's conduct? That's fine. Yes, there's a yellow card. I don't care that much. So that's all we can do for him right now. If I'm not mistaken. A dare. I guess his conduct is okay. That's something. Didn't play much. His form is not great. How's his development? None to speak of, right? This we can tell. Alright. Brotherton. It's one of those that trained really well, and then we played him, and all of a sudden he didn't train really well. Which is entirely absurd. At least to me. But he did play last time out. He even had a shot towards goal for some reason. Didn't create chances though, so I guess we go there. Right. Here's tackling was good, 1 out of 1, so I guess that's good. In fact, for a lot of these players it looked like the tackling is just fine. So once they go into the tackle, that's okay. For most of them anyway. So you can argue that there's a lack of aggression, or I don't know. I don't want to do much with the... Did he develop much? Not really. He will improve, okay. And the form was not good. So that's easy. Perfect morale for him. Problem is, he's no good. Burn. Training is okay-ish. Can't really comment on that. This is fine. We can warn him. He didn't create chances last time out, which is no good. It's his job after all. That said, his conduct is a bit spotty, but okay. Okay. Then there's training, form, and we can... Well, there's training and form. So, progress has been made. It would be dangerous to warn him about it. It would be... Similarly, it would be really dangerous to praise him for it. I don't want to go there. His form is horrible. That's what we can do. Oh. Apparently he doesn't agree. Cool. Cloyd. That's one of the fun ones to talk to. Recently, that is. But, yeah, okay, he needs a little talk though. Or he could use. Tackling's good. That's it. We'll go with that and everything above. That's it. We will stop talking to him now, because he's still annoyed. And in a bad mood for the remainder of the season. And then we're back with Coleman. This is where we started, is it? Yeah. So, did the move in the squad improve? Depends. If you look at it overall now, sure, it's better than average. And in fact, team cohesion improved a little bit too, for some reason. That's alright with me. Let's have a look at training units too. Do we agree with these? Yeah, I think so. This is fine, more or less. Yeah, okay. So, that's all good. It's so weird to have a mouse wheel that's working again. I got used to being with broken hardware. Alright. Elena's composure improved a little bit. Ah, okay. He's arguing. He doesn't. Better work rate. I guess that's something. A little bit better determination. Sam Jones. A little bit better work rate and determination. I'm really annoyed that he's 32 and doesn't develop. Yates. Yeah, he's arguing. Same here. Same here. They are a really outspoken bunch. The statistic is... This is just a penalty. If not for the penalty is like 0.8 expected goals. If not for the penalty, this would be a fine game. So we gave away that, and you can argue that we gave him that space, but really we didn't. Yes. Well, next month's match will be against somebody that is vastly better than we are. And, I don't know, penalty training doesn't feel like something that we need to do. So, I expect us to get thrown out of the cup in this game. We'll try the overall training. We need to focus on the remainder of the league anyway. Okay. I just got a message. I need to go for a 2-minute break. So I'll be back in a second and then we can go to the game. Alright. So I found something different to drink. You might not agree with this, but I want something with a bit of taste. And I'm really trying not to drink this stuff. So... Oh, there's league games today? Sure. This is not cup fixtures. So who's next? Let's scout that game. Seven Sisters, Lisbury and Cardiff Drags. Seven Sisters, Lisbury and Cardiff Drags are one game. And then we might as well scout anything. Doesn't matter much. Though, I don't know about the availability of the scouts, so let's leave it at 2. So, atmosphere in the club improved a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's good. I misclicked that. House. We have nominal knowledge in Wales now. This is somewhat important to me. I want scouting knowledge for our character to improve. This is not a journeyman save, but it might as well get there. Well, however you define journeyman, right? It's funny, half of the bots aren't available today. At least according to chat. Oh, I think that's a trial of Adam Jones, that is. So Mike Thompson Jones went away, as well as Adam Jones. 32 appearances. No goals though. How did he happen to manage that? Oh, this wasn't the Premier. Still. That makes him an even better signing. Oh, there's so much controversy here. Just as if everybody in Wales would be some sort of hothead. Barbarians there. That narrow pitch really suited us last time out. And I realized that we lost by 2 goals. But it still suited us to a degree. They didn't create that many chances other than the penalty. I don't think it's viable to look at this. They are just better than we are. Okay. Where are they? They are 10th. Yeah, okay. They are at a whopping 5 points. So I guess this is a hard draw, due to being a Premier League club, or whatever it's called. But I guess this is a good draw given their morale. Or should be. How's their... We don't know about the morale, do we? We don't know about the morale. Jack Lewis is listed for loan. We can do it the other way around, can we? We can get an additional team report. I think it's interesting that there's players listed for loan. Where there? Yeah, well, there's one. There's so many amateur players here. And there's players listed for loan all over the place here with the new Saints. No, not a friendly. I want a team report. I'm strictly interested in loan players though. Yeah, sure, I can. Well, let this process for a second. What are you looking at? There we go. Last check. Do we want to have this guy? He's a perfectionist that is really hard to deal with. You know, just like half of our squad. So he will fit just nicely with running to the press and everything else. And we want to play him as a shadow striker, so he probably won't do as a poacher. I think the board doesn't support us doing any more licenses. They are fearful that we might leave if we get an additional license. Anyway, I want to sign him. And I want to play him. Probably, well, he might be on the bench next match. Oh, I wanted to show you the profile. Yeah. So, profile first, then we do Adam Jones training, right? Oh, my profile. There we go. And this is the attribute points. So, we're no good at training goalkeepers or doing fitness. The rest of the stuff is okay-ish. And level of discipline, people management, and motivating are okay. Keep in mind that I started with a manager that had like ones everywhere. So, from that perspective, this is okay. And yeah, we have national B license. We cannot get the national A, I think. I asked recently. There's some promises going here. Not to apply for another club. Yeah, I didn't. We have a good level of support apparently. And, well, we didn't find Cloyd anymore. Because, you know, we didn't. Adam Jones is new to the club. Welcome, wonderful conduct, sir. That encouraged him. But he was pessimistic from the start. Fantastic. We will try to get him to play Shadow Striker. And we will try to get him to stop arguing with officials. Is that a thing? Maybe. Give it a try, man. Yeah, and I realized that he doesn't have the personality, but what can you do? So now Brotherton can go, and we will put Adam Jones on the bench. And Gibson all of a sudden will have somebody that he can compare himself to. What? Do you see that? Gibson trained well. What? Do you see that? Morale improved and all of a sudden people train well. Well, this is a welcoming surprise. We probably should have improved morale earlier. So, yeah. Cloyd is vaguely familiar with his position. Emphasis on vaguely. I think let's give trainer some time on the pitch. Cloyd can go to the bench. This time out, that is. They're getting there. Slowly but steadily. Ryan Gibson. He trains as a mid-sala on attack duty. This is just fine. This is the primarily trained tactic. That's also okay. Tumultine Mr. Cake Grenade is a debate that was mentioned previously. And this is the reason. I hope that explains why Mr. Cake Grenade doesn't play. Because Tumulty trains well, and I want to support this. So I hope that makes sense. It doesn't tell us that Mr. K Grenade needs to go though. He's on a 6 point something rating, 6.65. So for his age that's probably fine. But there's just no space for him on the bench. Or I could maybe get some space for him on the bench. Given that there's 3 strikers on the bench now. But one is, to me, as a midfielder, one is a real striker, and one is, you know, a wide midfielder to me. So I guess I'll keep that. I might throw off Clyde. Because his performances haven't been great and he's annoyed anyway. He doesn't have great morale. Why not? Bring Mr. Cake Grenade along. Maybe he can make an appearance. We'll see. So we talked to everybody previously. It's not a problem. Paul Coleman's morale drops like a rock. I don't know why. You see, we will probably win against Newton now. Newtown. And then afterwards we will lose against Seven Sisters, and then they will throw us out of the club because the performance on the league is too concerning whilst we win the cup. In fact, there is, yes. We will play with the Shadow Striker at some point. Alright, I lied to the press. Doesn't matter. They lie about us all day. Yeah, also I want to say Sam Jones. Oh, there's some improvement there. He should welcome him to the club. They share the same last name, so this might work. Fantastic! This improves morale. I like this. And to be a bit more serious about it, hopefully it has an effect, personality-wise, not with the professionalism, that won't do much, because he's a perfectionist. No, I'm talking this. If this gets reduced at some point, I would be very happy. That said, he's an 18-year-old that considers himself a star player, so we'll have a problem. In shaping his personality, that is. But maybe we can get him him reduced. You know, with the level of importance he considers himself to have. But a perfectionist and an 18-year-old, I want to play this guy. And even if it doesn't work out, I'm still willing to try. You know, you can be excited about players in your club and then you get fired and then you move on. That happens. Bernigo should be available now. He probably wants to remain with Yellow Hawkdale. He's on a I don't know, 5-year contract with Yellow Hawkdale's IK right now. Let's have a look, will we? Where's Ruben? Yeah. Rigby. Ruben. So many oh, he's in. How did you manage to do that? He's injured. Out 2 to 4 weeks. And apparently happy with his new... Well, he gets paid a lot of money. That's not great. That dropped. Alright. They are. Especially the ones below Vanarama, north and south. Look at this. In the league they are really weak. They are as bad as we are. In some areas. Well, performance-wise that is. I do not expect us to stand a chance there. But they play tiki-taka bullshit. Yeah, sure, we did it previously, but you gotta have some strong statements on the stream, right? I'm young after all. This, by the way, this doesn't look bad. This is a decent player. I would be very willing to take him in, but we can't. Yeah, but this is not well, okay. This might be the low budget. He deserves an elbow to the face, at least according to the attributes. Todd Elcock. He's a defensive midfielder though. I don't know. This guy is small enough that even Yates might outjump him. And he knocks the ball past the opponent, which is entirely unsuited. Yeah, well, looking at the technicals so far, I'm not entirely opposed to the idea. For tiki-taka they need good passing and so on. I guess the defenders are okay-ish with that. They're definitely better than our league is. And then in midfield, yeah, so this is passing. This is acceptable. And then we have him, he's a real winger. Yeah, something like this. Crosses early. That's just a poacher. Well, it's not just a poacher, it's an advanced forward, I think. But in the end, they are really dangerous. At least for our level. But we can hope for a decent pitch. They will probably have a wide pitch though. Jamie Owen demands more. Who the hell are you? Oh, from a Taffs Well player. So we do not expect much, right? We could, yeah, we could, sure. I'm sure he has the mentality to deal with whatever, but... Yes, it will. So apparently they find some strengths within our squad. Not so sure if I agree. But okay. To be that confident about a squad that loses that many games, I don't know. I overdid it with the new signings. Or I underdid it. You can argue both ways. Maybe I should have thrown out the entire squad with the exception of the defensive midfielder, maybe. And just went with an entirely new squad. Or the other way around. Do nothing about the squad in entirety. Maybe add one player in. And just play everybody else. Whatever they're good at or bad at, just keep them in. This is really good training. Same with Wilds and Coleman. So we can praise them, hopefully. Would you please accept this? Apparently. No, wrong button. I think 8 point something is good enough to praise them all, right? Okay. Here, Martin too. And now we're getting into the dangerous territory. It still worked. Alright. And there's Shay Kirk. Same as last time. Okay. That's it. It looks a bit better. U19. No, I'm not gonna praise him for that. Yeah, neither will I praise McIver. Which, by the way, McIver didn't develop much. I don't think he did in the first team either. It's a bit of a problem. Defeat. Well, Shay Kirk will not start this game. Definitely not. Maybe I should have given him a chance at some point. But I do not feel this. Opposition instructions, is there anything that is noteworthy? The goalkeeper has a decent beard. Oh, that's good. No good throwing, kicking is okay though. Bit bad in communication. That's about it. I guess we do not have to press him with that passing and so on. But pace-wise, we will not stand a chance. Rhys Jones is slow. Webster is faster. Hido, I don't know. None of this rings a bell so far. Other than the weak feet, obviously. Well, if there are any. Okay. He has acceptable passing, acceptable dribbling. He's really bad with strength and jumping reach. Like, seriously bad. So, for him to be marked by the striker, I guess that's a good idea. Or tight marking in general. Yeah. I'm not even sure if the striker has to do it, but why not? And this will obviously pull him out of position, but it's not... That's not even a bad thing, I think. In this situation. I'd rather go towards the defensive line with a few more men. Once that happens. So, for him to spearhead attacks in central defense doesn't sound like it's fruitful. Yeah, I don't know what to do about these two. Obviously, we can try to man mark them. Which might be an idea in his case. He doesn't have wonderful off the ball movement. Who of the two is this? This is Lewis, so that's the one that is close to our... to Gibson. So why not? You can mark Lewis. And then we have these up front here. They are totally fine as crossers. Sure, we need to close them down. Will not change much there. And same with him. They all have a weak foot though, so I guess that's a plus. Also, morale isn't great. Sure. Kirk doesn't need his number. Aaron McIder doesn't need his number either. Ryan Gibson is nervous again. Ryan Gibson is always nervous about everything. Alright, 3 hours into the stream. That's a cup game. Apparently the pressure is not a problem. At least according to the reaction. So let's try to be a bit more assertive. Yes. I agree. But sometimes that's overdoing it and they get complacent later on. So this is... this might have to do with the lower league though. In general, I agree. But the reason why I always go with encourage for most of the team is just that most of them react in a positive manner to this, at least on this level. I don't know why that is. This is a rather narrow pitch. We can live with that, right? Well done. Tumulty. And nothing. So, right now nobody's nervous. I don't think so. This has to do with his age, I think. That's a really easy explanation. He's a 17-year-old that is unambitious, and he might not have great resistance to pressure. I can, if you, well, you're probably not, but if you're really interested in this, slap him into a personality calculator. He's unambitious and level-headed, and see what range comes out for pressure. And it's probably something like 5 to 14 or something. He might be at the lower end. Gibson, well done. So far that is. Trainer runs for the ball, and that's it. Level-headed is, I think the German translation is besonnen, if I'm not mistaken. So with a certain sense of loyalty and not that high controversy. And I wasn't aware of that German translation, by the way. Somebody on stream told me previously. Well blocked. Oh, thoughtful. Reflektiert, maybe. That should be a foul. And Gibson is on the yellow already. So he made it to 13 minutes. Methodical, let me have a look. Okay, cool. So level-headed has synonyms in English: considered, cool, deliberate, and in German it's vernünftig, which would be a synonym. So in English that would be reasonable, sensible, rational, wise, sound, or level-headed. I guess that helps a little bit. So we're not doing any rash decisions. This is just media handling. So in combination with unambitious, I might as well finish this, right? Give me a second. I'll just slap him in the calculator myself. He's unambitious. He's a Newtown. Determination was 6, right? Where is he? Ryan Gibson here. Unambitious determination is 7, and he's level-headed. Yeah. So this implies ambition 1 to 5 due to being unambitious, loyalty 11 to 20 due to being unambitious and level-headed. As I said, a certain sense of loyalty comes with this. Pressure is between 1 and 20. Now we realize that he can't have good pressure. His pressure might be 2, for all we know, because he doesn't react. He's always nervous. This also comes with age, but he's always nervous. So I think his pressure is really low. Professionalism is between 5 and 20. We can't see much of that, of professionalism in training. Looking at his training performances, I'd argue he doesn't have much professionalism. Even though the range is on the, above average, 5 to 20, he might still have professionalism 6, given his training ratings. So in this specific case, I'm not so sure if this is good. Sportsmanship between 1 and 20, I don't care. Really, sportsmanship is one of these things that I don't care about. But we can't see him getting that many yellow cards. Well, he has one this game, but I don't think he's one to get a yellow card every single game. So probably not a problem. Temperament between 7 and 20. This is down to being level-headed in his case. I guess he's not one to go, through the roof emotionally. so I guess that's okay. And controversy between 1 and 14, he didn't feel like he was very like volatile to deal with or something, if that makes sense. So he's got low controversy, yes. Strictly in our experience so far. So we find some of these, and we have I guess we have some guesses. I'm not sure how this is simulated. We should probably talk about this in a specific example once it comes up. Cunningham, long shot, not a problem. He can shoot like this all day. That probably went beyond row set. Is it C? No, C is the third letter in the alphabet. It's below row set probably. Gibson, McDowell, cross, Burn. Oh, what a shot! That was so close. We could have stood a chance. It was on target. The goalkeeper had to deal with it. Burn with the corner. Nope. Well intercepted by Gibson. Gibson. Dribble by Gibson. And he passes back to Feldstedt. That's it. That chance is over. Burn. Jones. Not one for Yates to pick up. Tumulty. And that's not one for Gibson. Jones again. That's it. Well, we had our chance. At least one. So, nobody's nervous here. Yeah, don't worry. That's it for this game. 0.01 expected goals. We gotta be positive about this. It's well defended so far. There was a negative reaction here with trainer. But if you look at it from another perspective, look at the exhaustion level. Yeah, look at theirs. This is a cup game, so it only goes to 90 minutes. But if we can make it to the penalties, why not? Penalties are total lottery. That's not entirely sure, and not entirely true. Penalties are a lottery that is stacked against us, given our skill level. But this is a lottery that's somewhat reasonable now. One of these might make an error in defense at some point. I am not sure. But if it helps us defend this game and go to penalties, why not? As I don't think it's a think about it this way, or I hope you can think about it this way. People like James are so pacey, so say we push forward the defensive line, we will just suffer a long ball, tiki-taka or no tiki-taka. We will suffer a long ball and one of them will score. They are just too fast for our defenders. So given the narrowness of the pitch, why would we do that? Just try to shut up shop in defense, and if they want to work for a goal all game and go with 3 low-grade goal-scoring chances in 43 minutes, fine with me. Whatever. The most likely result right now is 0-0. So let them have that, and they can have their free substitutes too, as long as our players can't just shut up the pitch. That's an okay performance. This is better than what we do in the league. It gets ironic at this point. I'm happy with this. I really am. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's all we need. You know, 1 goal. It might be entirely absurd, or a set piece. Who cares? And also, we will replace... Is it Gibson? It's Gibson. Ah, interesting pass. Alcock These balls. These are the dangerous ones. Yeah, bad finish though. Luckily for us, that is. That's a booking for Lewis. Who the hell is Lewis? Is this one of ours? Nope. Burnett. So, I might bring on our new guy. Later on. McDowell. Tumulty doesn't pick up the ball. Robinson. That could be offside. Yes, it was. Burn. Burn! I can't believe it. Does it count? No, it doesn't count. Fuck. Okay, he was way offside. Oh, Jones. That would have been the goal to decide the game. Sparks. Nolan and a long shot. 60 minutes into the game. Let's bring on a new guy, will we? He's angry. Why is he angry? Why is he angry? Well, he can put his anger on the pitch. Yeah, it might be. They react to this kind of stuff in that way, that's true. They certainly do. Sometimes if a goal is disallowed, they really get devastated. Yeah, probably. He's a perfectionist. With really low threshold for, you know... in German language they say, kurze Zündschnur. I guess that's it. So, whatever it is. Short fuse in English. Yeah. So he probably has a short fuse if that picture exists in English. But there's no patience to be had with him. And that's just fine with us. I just got kicked out of the chat room. Everybody still here? I read up on personality types these days. Just over. Let's just say I'm not so sure if those drawers that you put people in sometimes are that useful. That said, as a model, maybe sometimes it helps. Football Manager is similar. You know, the personalities give some indication, but in the end it's about the entire sample. And that sample might still include some really interesting or really unhealthy attributes. Trainer. This was a shot? Apparently this was a shot. So we should probably tell Yates to ease off tackles at this point. And Martin... Do I want to replace Martin? Jones is happy, by the way. He's delighted to make a debut. Martin can remain on the pitch. Ball-winning midfielder without tackles, or no ball-winning midfielder without tackles. Jones. Walker. Jones. Webster. Please don't make me suffer a through ball. Watts. Watts. Martin is not on DLP support and never has been. Trainer, McDowell. He will tackle hard. And I think we can gamble this. We can also replace him with another defensive midfielder. Because there's somebody else on the bench, right? Gary Moody. He might just need some encouragement. And given that Martin is on a 6.3 rating, why not? So, somebody else? Sure. Yeah, he's the ball-winning midfielder, exactly. We still have 2 substitutes to make, so I guess we can... It works just fine. Trust the process. Your perfectionism together with your short fuse influences your reaction, Mr. Explosive Birthday Cake. Calm down. It's gonna be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. We will find a solution. And if we don't, this is just a cup game. It's not that meaningful. It's just about like 10k prize money. A difference of 5k between winning and losing. And maybe getting fired. So don't worry too much about it. It's all good. We'll get there. Everybody else is more or less okay. the entire premise also turned slightly sarcastic throughout me stating this. So yeah, I don't know. Let's encourage them. Where is it there? Scored a winning goal. At least Mr. Cake Grenade seems motivated. Trainer. That's nothing. Alcock. Sears. Long ball. That shouldn't be a problem, but we know how these go. Yeah, exactly. It's Felstead. So... frustrated by the feedback because I encouraged him. I hate Arloni, and this is the one that we cannot send home, by the way. He will remain with us. Sparkles. Jones. I didn't slap a single sticker in this today. Flynn Murray. Jones. Flynn Murray, Mr. Cake Grenade. That wasn't a great cross. Jones. He went with a shot. I guess that's something. Looking at expected goals, this game has been even so far. We'll end up with penalties, will we? Please tell me they don't score. I will just feel like I played Bayern Munich if they score. Moody. Horrible pass. Is there somebody fresh on the bench? Sure. So, Elina has really horrible penalty taking. I don't want to do this. I'd rather keep Yates on. Roberts. Penalty taking is 4. Flynn Murray. Penalty taking is 4-2. So, there's not much of a difference there. Wilds. Penalty taking is 5. McDowell. Penalty taking is 3. So we will substitute for the penalty. We might as well substitute a keeper. He's shit at penalties, right? He's really bad in one-on-ones. Yeah, but not for the penalty taking man. Not like 5 minutes until we get penalties. I will not do that. No, you know what I'll do? I'll bring in the other keeper. 'Cause Paul Coleman has really bad one-on-ones, and his composure is 1. So I do not expect him to save penalties. You think he can do it? Okay, I don't. So let's agree to disagree. I will give him some playing time sometimes else. But his finishing isn't great, his penalty taking isn't great, his composure is okay, his technique is acceptable. But in this situation, I think we should maybe do something on the defensive side. So hopefully Massaro can save a penalty. He doesn't have great composure, but his one-on-ones are definitely better than the ones of Coleman. So let's give him time. Why not? 5 minutes on the pitch, and afterwards he can do the penalties. Also, penalty taking 5, and he has penalty taking 3. I don't know if we will get there, but who cares. He can come on. Freddie Wilds, hopefully, you know, he gave away a penalty due to a foul in the first league game, I think. So, go out there and make an impact. This is the first time I replaced the goalkeeper due to impending penalties. Oh fuck me. Seriously. Forget whatever I just did. Now it's Elena time. He'll come on immediately. And I will still bring on Wilds. This is so stupid. This is so absurdly stupid. Look at it. Deflects off Felstead. And now we go with whatever. Fire up. Let's just try. Oh, what an absurd way to lose a game. I guess we were competitive, by the way. No foul. Why not? This referee, he's got tomatoes on the eyes. Oh no. Sparks. Coleman. That probably was one of the better chances of the game. There's just nothing happening. Sparks, Sears, and we do not stand a chance. These two were the best chances of the game. Flynn Murray. Oh, Mr. Cake Grenade, why? Firing up didn't work, by the way. Okay. Have it. And that's probably the game, is it? Yeah, that ends up with Coleman. Long ball. Can Trainer pick this up? Nope. That's a game. We lose due to an own goal. And what a shitty one. Best performer was Paul Coleman. I do not agree. Yeah, the performance was superb. No, I don't think so. Own goal by Felstead. That's the way we go out of the cup. And maybe also out of the club. Depending on how league performances are going forward. If there is a forward, that is. But Mr. Jones made a debut, so I guess that's something. We get 5k. That's at the lower end for this game. Can we take heart from that performance? I guess. I seriously think that we defended reasonably well most of the time. With the exception of that one own goal. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, so I really think we improved a little bit. Sorry about that. Harry Martin will be suspended. Fantastic. Yeah, he had a yellow card, so no more games for him. And then we will have a game against Seven Sisters. An away game, that is. Adam Jones didn't improve much. Alright, he was barely included, right? And who would expect much more? Okay. I'm tired. I will wrap this up for today. That's enough. We will... I don't want to promise that we will do another stream tomorrow. But I will try to do another stream tomorrow. Maybe a bit earlier. And if that doesn't work, probably Friday. Even earlier on Friday. In any case, we will probably see each other pretty soon. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.